Hey everyone, so today you are in the kitchen with me because I'm going to show you how to make a really simple dairy-free jalapeno poppers wrapped in bacon. So I was talking about yesterday how we are doing elevated energy and we take out 4 things. We take out dairy, gluten, sugar, and alcohol, and it's because they're very inflammatory to the body. So some people get overwhelmed with that because they don't know what else to eat. And I understand that overwhelm. Like dairy was my favorite thing to eat in the whole wide world. And cream cheese, I swear to you, I could live off of. So that's why you want to still enjoy some of your favorite foods. I'm going to show how you can do things with like cashews and make cheese out of it, and it tastes fantastic. So we're going to start with 1.5 cups of cashews. These are raw cashews. That's what you want to buy. I get mine at Costco. And when you're using cashews to make cheese, you want to make sure you're soaking them first. So all that means, I should have brought this down first. I have a pile of cashews right here. They're raw. I poured them in my bowl and I just covered them with cold water, and they're going to soak for at least 12 to 24 hours. After that's done, I'm gonna drain them, I'm gonna rinse them really well, and then I dry them in my dehydrator. You don't have to even dry them. You could actually just throw them in a Ziploc bag and freeze them right away, because you'll have to freeze them right away. Otherwise, if you wanna eat them later or dry them out, you can even do it in the oven at the lowest setting. Just pay attention to them. So, I already have, I should say with this first, my jalapeno poppers. I already sliced open the jalapenos. I like to leave the stem sometimes because it looks prettier. And if you don't like a lot of heat, I just suggest taking a spoon and just scraping out the ribs and the seeds. If you like a little more heat, then I would leave that in. Sometimes I use gloves to do it too, just in case when you're doing a whole pile, then it won't burn your hands so much. And then to make the cashew cheese. So, 1.5 cups of raw cashews that have already been pre-soaked. I'm gonna take 1 cup of water, and I have filtered water in that. Then I'm gonna take nutritional yeast. If you've never heard of nutritional yeast, everyone gets confused about this. They think about it as bread yeast. It's not. It's yellow in color, and it's what gives like vegan type dishes their cheesiness. So I'm gonna put about a quarter of a cup of that in there. A tablespoon of fresh lemon juice that I squeezed. We're gonna do about 1.5 teaspoons, I can't even get in here, of real sea salt, not table salt. You want real sea salt. And then you're gonna want 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. So apple cider vinegar, I like to buy it where it has the mother in it. So like I'm a mom, a mother. And the reason for that, it just makes it way more nutritious. It has all the probiotics that you need. So it kind of looks disgusting, but that's the good kind that you want. And you want about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in there. And I believe that's all I needed, right? Yes, that's all you need. Now we're gonna blend this up in a blender. If you don't have a high-powered blender, this may turn out a little bit gritty, which might not change the taste too much of it. It depends if you're a texture person. I'm a textured person, so I like it to be nice and smooth. So if you have a high-powered blender, that cashew cheese is gonna be nice and smooth. So I'm gonna blend this up and I'll be right back. Okay, once you have it all mixed up in your blender, you're gonna pour it into a saucepan. So I'm just getting the rest of it out because it's a little bit runny. And you're gonna cook it over the stove for just a little bit until it gets heated up. And you wanna stay near it because it's gonna be quick. And once it starts to heat up, it's gonna start to thicken and it's gonna be more like cheese. So we're gonna probably gonna be about 5 minutes, I would think. So you just wanna keep stirring it, pay attention to it, and then we'll fill our poppers up. Okay, so it's been about 6 minutes-ish. And you can see that the sauce, like the cheese sauce, is nice and thick. So it's kind of gonna be like a melted cream cheese, right? That's kind of what we're going for, that kind of thickness. So right now that it's nice and thick, I am going to just let it cool down before we fill our jalapenos. Okay, so now I have most of my poppers filled, but I'm gonna just quickly show you with a couple of them. So I just take it, you're gonna just fill it with the cashew cheese that you made. I didn't let it cool off for too long, actually, even a couple minutes. I've done it too, where I've actually made the cashew cheese ahead of time, put it in the fridge, and made these the next day, and it still turns out great. So if you wanted to prep a few things ahead of time, if you're having company, you can absolutely do that with these. So once they're filled, I then wrap them in bacon. Now my girlfriend Amber, who came up with this recipe, she uses 2 pieces of bacon. I actually don't love bacon that much, so I use only half. So you can absolutely use a whole piece. You can use more if you want. Personally, half a piece is lots for my liking. So I wrap that up. Okay, and then once you're done with that, I should have planned that better. Once you're done with that, you are going to just put a drizzle of maple syrup, real maple syrup, over these. It's gonna give it a little sweetness with that heat. Oops, that was a lot there. So just really light. And then, if you like a smoked flavor, you can do a smoked paprika. I don't love smoked necessarily, so I'm just gonna do regular paprika, just to make it look a little bit prettier after it's done out of the oven. So that's about it with that. Now we're gonna put it in a 400-degree oven, let it cook, and I'm gonna show you what that looks like when they come out. Okay guys, so it is done. So I cooked these for about 30 minutes because I like the bacon to be a little bit crispier. You can go longer if you want. This is what they look like though. They smell so good. I already had one. I should have kept a little more like spice to it in my opinion because I like them a little bit spicier, but since other people are gonna try them, I made them a little bit more mild. But they're super good. So now I'm gonna head on down to my husband's office and I'm gonna get some people who have never tried too many dairy-free things and get their take on it. Is it April?
Amazing.
Amazing. Can you tell it's dairy-free?
No, I can't. It tastes totally like cream cheese.
What do you think?
It's so good. Woohoo!
Can you tell it's not cream cheese?
No, not at all.